welcome to our Power Hour. Yes, we are powerful women. And only in an hour can we make everything happen. I'm really happy that you guys are here. I'm going to talk to you guys just for a few minutes. Oh, my name is Deborah Razzo, and I'm the founder of the Women's Real Estate Network. So welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you have your chat up. So bring your chat up right now. And we would love it if you would turn your video on. We don't care if you don't have makeup or your hair's not done, by the way. It's just us girls, right? So turn on your video. Let's connect. And you know what? Bring up your chat and say hello. Tell us your name and where you're from, because this call is from all over the United States, and we want to get to know what areas you're chiming in from. So here we go. Now I've got to take my own advice. Hello, Eileen from Las Vegas. Hey, girl.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice to see you back. So glad you're here. Eileen won one of our prizes at Ignite.
I got it in the
Did you
mail.
get it, Eileen? I can hear her. I can see her arms up. Okay, I can't hear you, honey. You can unmute yourself. Linda, hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Kirsten from Los Angeles. Claire from Warner Springs, California. I don't even know where that is. Hi guys.
No one does. No one does.
Monica from the San Francisco Bay Area. Hi, Monica. I'm going to be up in San Fran next week. It'll be great to get out of LA for a little bit. Marianne from Geneva, New York. Hey, Marianne. Nice to see you from Geneva, New York. Cool. That's a new location for us. Peggy, hi. Sierra Madre, hi, Peggy. God, it's nice to see you. Kathy from Southern California. Jane from Seattle. Hi, Jane. Nice to see you. Marianne. Oh, Marianne from near our Arkansas, Texas border. Marianne's on the road. Marianne, I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to make you co-host. Marianne and her partner Claire are going to be sharing a case study with us later today. And Nika's here from LA. Linda from Pasadena. Hi guys, nice to see you. Perla from Los Angeles. Hi Perla, nice to see you too. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so glad you're able to join us today. You know what? You might also want to have a pen and paper ready. All right. So, or at least something to take some notes on, because you never know when somebody's going to say something that's going to spark that great idea, right? That, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I'm going to do it this way. Right. So I want you to be able to capture that. So, and I also want to say that all the ideas that are discussed today are not for everybody. Right? So make sure that when you proceed with anything that you contact your attorney or your financial professionals to make sure that moving forward is the right thing for you to do. So I'm going to guess this is our Power Hour. We do this specifically to reach out to first timers. So I really want to know if there's any first timers here. If you're a first timer, could you put your name in and say first timer? Because we just like to welcome you in particular. I recognize some of the names on this list, not as first timers. Monica, thank you. Hi, I'm glad you're here. Marianne, first timer too. Great. Thank you for coming. Some of our community, Kathy is a first timer. Thank you, Kathy. Some of our community is repeaters. Or should I just say like we're just addicted to each other? Once you start doing deals and making money with each other, it's kind of addicting, I gotta say. So Jane, first timer. Vicky is a first timer from Los Angeles. Okay, hi Vicky. Jill, hi Jill. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. We have this meeting specifically for you first timers. We wanted to get a meeting going that would just really tell you what our organization is about. And thank you for taking the time out to get to know us a little bit. I'm going to start and I'm going to share my screen for a few minutes. and just walk through a few things that I think you should know about our organization. And then we're going to talk about how we connect. And then we're going to have a case study that's going to, really give an example of how some of our members are making money in real estate. So our mission is to create a community where women in real estate will excel and empower each other, and where we can all share experiences, resources, and tools to help each other grow personally and professionally. Oh, and we like to have fun, which I think you'll realize as this meeting goes along. So here's the thing. I just want to break this down for a minute. Women do business differently than men. And, and real estate has been a male-dominated business for a long time. If you aren't muted, could you please mute yourself? And so we wanted to come together because women can be more collaborative. We can be more, creative, and we want to do business like that. And we want to help each other. We genuinely, I can't tell you how many times we share resources. Somebody calls me and needs something, or I call somebody and need something, and we can share those resources together. And we help each other grow both personally and professionally. You know what? We made sure that we put that in there because we don't think that one goes without the other. Here's the thing. When I'm growing professionally, sometimes I'll get to plateaus, and the plateaus means, oop, I got some personal growth to do before I can get to the next level. They both go hand in hand, and we recognize that. And so we encourage each other to grow both personally and professionally. We're founded on 4 pillars, and you can see we're kind of obsessed with our little wren. Our little bird is everywhere. And so this is what we call our nest, because we like to try to be cute, our NEST. And that stands for these 4 pillars. The first pillar is networking. We're primarily a networking company, and our main objective is to create that community. The thing is that although you can do real estate like a lone wolf, which I've tried in the past, I've had several different companies, and as an entrepreneur, I went forward as a lone wolf, but I ran out of money, I'll be honest with you. And I didn't have a way of going forward unless I got other people's help. And so this was about networking and fostering that community, to add to your net worth. And somebody told me, Rochelle told me amazing story about networking today that I'm going to let her share as soon as I'm done with these pillars. And the second is E, for education. We believe in education, right? We bring strong business-minded women to our monthly meetings that share not only their business model with us, but share how they're balancing it all, right? Who here, I want to see a raise of hands because I can see you all. I want to see a raise of hands. Who here is juggles stuff? Who here just juggles a bunch of stuff all the time, right? We're women, we juggle stuff. It's like, we're balancing a lot of balls in the air. I want to know how those women that I admire are doing it and how they're juggling all their life at the same time, because I think that's, really important. Skill development, hands-on training. We offer skill development in WREN and transformation. Once again, we support the transformation that people go through to become the kind of investor they want to be. We believe that, there's a lot of women in our group that are investing for financial freedoms and the rewards that come with that. And that's really options. Who here doesn't want options? I love my options, right? I want to have choices. And you know what? Financial freedom gives me choices to do what I want to do with my time, with my energy, gives me all kinds of choices. Before I go any further, I actually want, Rochelle, are you on?
I'm right here.
Where are you?
I'm right here. Hi, everyone.
We can't hear you.
You should be able to hear me now.
Nope, I can't hear you now. I'm reading your lips. I heard you. I read your lips and you said, can you hear me now?
Really? I'm on unmute.
I can
Can
hear.
anybody else hear her?
I can hear.
I hear her.
Oh gosh, thank goodness. I'm not like technology.
I can hear her.
Oh my God. I've had the music on the whole time.
Oh.
Somebody, hello people, tell me.
I didn't hear it, so you're good.
Oh,
You
good.
heard it.
Oh, good. Okay, so I got to tell you, Rochelle called me today and she told me this fabulous story. So Rochelle, take it away.
Oh, hi everyone. Welcome to WREN here. I wanted to share a story today because we talk about the power of networking. And so here I go, right? So we have a property under contract right now. It's 93 units. It's a mobile home park. It's 50% occupied. We haven't seen this thing, but we are kind of like unsure, right? Is this like the total ghetto? Is it, I mean, do we have opportunity here? So it's actually in Arkansas of all places, okay? So we talked to the owner. We've got people here.
Hold on, let me mute some people. Hold on, Rochelle, hold on. All right, unmute yourself, can you?
Okay, there I'm back. Okay, anyway, so we still have a few questions about this property, right? We're in Arkansas, North Little Rock. What does that mean? I mean, I've never even been there. Well, we have another deal. We actually have a mastermind, multifamily mastermind going on in WREN. So if you guys are interested, please join us. And I had a property in San Antonio area that I shared with some of our members. And so they were actually talking about it, right? And she actually called me. She goes, I got a few questions. I'm like, okay, so we're talking. And I'm like, where are you? Because these two are notorious for being on the road. They are absolutely the best. And she goes, I'm in Arkansas. I'm like, what are you doing in Arkansas? And I said, by any chance, Little Rock? She goes, yeah, 60 miles. And I'm like, oh, stop. This is out of the blue today, you guys, right? So she drives up to North Little Rock and drives through and does a FaceTime of our park and got a lot of the questions answered. So I just want to say, what are the chances? You just can't, that just doesn't happen, right? So I want to thank Claire and Mary Ann. They'll actually be speaking today. Thank you for driving through the park, taking video to notice the things that we should be aware of. And again, ladies, absolutely incredible, the power of networking. So yeah, there she is. See, Mary Ann's got it right now. I had the video on. So thanks. I just wanted to share the story. Welcome, everybody.
That's an incredible story. First of all, I just love the fact that you just happen to be doing a deal and then somebody happens to be driving through and you happen to be on the phone with them, right? I mean, what are the possibilities of that? But that's the magic. That's the magic.
Arkansas of all places, not Florida, South Beach or some sexy place or, Hawaii, but I mean, Arkansas, which I love Arkansas, you guys.
We were real close. We were real close, and the place was right off the Interstate 40, which we were driving down. It was about 5-10 minutes off the freeway.
That is incredible. Yeah. Congratulations. That's so cool.
All right.
Okay. So Claire and Mary Ann are going to be sharing a case study with us in a few minutes, but just let me finish up right now. I always share a quote with you guys. And today I'm sharing this quote from Steve Jobs. And I'm sharing it for a couple reasons. And one is a little personal and the other one is more professional. So bear with me. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. Steve Jobs. So I know it's a great quote, isn't it? It's a great quote. I wanted to share that quote today for really a couple reasons. And one is a little personal, so I hope you just let me share a little bit. So the first one is the personal part. Some of you have heard my story, and please forgive me for repeating myself if you've heard that. But I'm coming up on a special day for me, and that is this Saturday, October 31st, 11 years ago, I was in a life-threatening car accident. And it's a special day for me because I survived, right? It was near fatal, and I was hit in the head pretty bad. I had a pretty severe head injury, and I broke the connectors between my C4 and C5, and I now have a titanium plate holding my head on. I always say my head's screwed on now. Not that that means anything. But I want to tell you, it's the time in my life. It took me well over a year to heal. And I realized that your time here is limited. Your time here is limited, so don't waste it. Right? And that's the first part of this quote that really got me, because I realized my time here was limited and I didn't want to waste it. I wanted to soak it in. I wanted to soak it in with love and gratitude and adventure and learning. And I wanted to live the best life for me. And I found real estate as a vehicle to help me do that. So professionally, I'd like to say this quote is about staying true to your vision. Right. And there's many of us in WREN that just went through Ignite, which is a conference that we had, and we saw some powerhouse women bring some spectacular business models. I was so like in awe, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, and it really drove me to once again say, I want to have the courage to pursue that life. Right. And real estate might test you, by the way. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say real estate's going to test you. Real estate is going to test you. And, you know, the last line of this quote is, it's most important to have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. And so I wanted to share that quote with you today because it's particularly special to me right now and at this time of year. And I want to talk to you about the two women that are going to be presenting their case study today. Help me welcome Marianne and Claire. And I want to say that these two women I have seen take the courage to pursue what they've wanted. And they've done it by driving all over the country. So I'm going to stop sharing. Marianne and Claire, I believe you both have privileges for sharing. So I will, who is starting? Who's starting?
I will be pulling up the presentation.
Okay.
Share screen. There it is. Excellent. Okay. And can everyone see that? There should be a PowerPoint on the screen.
There we go.
It's there.
I see it.
Okay, and it should be in slide form. Let's move it, PowerPoint. Why are we not in slide form?
Focus.
F5. Get F5.
Now, do I even have where my F5? God, I haven't touched F5 in so long. Okay, and I have a little.
It's fun. Try it. Oh wait, are you an Apple or is this an Apple?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, F5 should work.
Okay, you know what? I'm hating this right now. It's worked all day. This is not the first time I've tried this. Okay, there we go.
Yay!
All right, so we're hitting adventures in real estate, which I'll tell you something, this has been an adventure for us. It's been really a lot of fun. And today we're going to talk about taking on the challenges. You talked about courage. That's wrapped in here. So we'll see that. So, you know, what we could talk about is a typical flip. You buy a house under market, needs some work, 2-3 months rehab, sell it for profit. These are pictures of one we did in Lake Elsinore. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, it worked. It's why we're together today, because we didn't kill each other on that one. So how bad could it be? Well, I'll tell you. So we thought the challenge would be more interesting for the group than the easy ones, because those you can get from any guru who comes along, tells you just no big deal. So I'd like you to meet Fairview. That one was a challenge. So go ahead, Marianne. Talk about
Fairview
this.
is in it is. It's in Fort Myers, Florida. We were doing some projects there, and a wholesaler that we've been working brought it to us. He under contract, he was going to buy it. It actually was a contractor working with an investor. And basically they couldn't, the financier got cold feet because of some of the difficulties with this project. But being Claire and Marianne and probably a little insane, we actually took it on. And this is how we did it. If Claire will change slides, we'll tell you a little bit more about it. As you can see from the pictures, and I don't think the pictures do it justice, it was much, much worse. It was a hoarder house inside and out. The outside had, I think this was after we started cleaning it up because there's a dumpster there. It had cars and RVs and a swimming pool that looked like a swamp. They had a dog who they let shit anywhere wanted to. It was a husky, so big shit. First time I walked into it, I mean, I walked a few feet into it in one of the little pathways through the hordes and was getting bitten. So I just kind of walked back out again. And the owner was a little bit crazy. And she had certain things she needed before she would even do the deal. And, you know, kept wanting the sign docs and whatever. Claire, why don't you switch?
Because for some reason she loved me. And so we were in Illinois, we're on our way to Florida, and we're in Illinois, and you know, so I get the call, you know, can you talk to this lady? Can you tell her you're buying it? Can you calm her down? Because she was constantly at the title, badgering our title person. She was just very demanding for someone who was giving absolutely nothing. And so I did talk to her, and I think all she wanted was to be heard. You know, there was really, she didn't really even have demands. She just wanted to know that she was validated and heard. And so I just, you know, I just let her do that. So everything she said, I don't fight people. I just go, I kind of agree and then try to turn them into where we want to go. Not always, sometimes I'll scream, but that's what I try to do when I'm at my most mature, which is not every hour of every day.
When
And
she had her mommy pants on.
yes, I did. I did.
Driving
Yes.
while she was talking, and I was hearing half of the conversation. It was like, oh my God, Claire, don't know how you have the patience to keep talking to this woman, but she kept on talking and kept on kind of getting her off the fence and everything else. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I was the Miss Claire thing, which makes me crazy, but it is a Southern thing. I'm sure our gal from Tennessee will confirm that. But yes, but we got her calm. We got her calm and cooperative, which was huge.
So next page, please.
I think you've got a delay, so I actually am doing it, but it'll come up.
So basically, one of the issues were there was a first, it actually was a private lender, which I'll tell you more about, but it had been unpaid for months. There was a tax sale coming in about 6 weeks. There were over $200,000 worth of code violations, mainly because of everything in that front yard, and the neighbors were really unhappy and the city was unhappy. And the house, once finished, was going to be worth about $200,000. So you see why an investor might not want to even, you know, stick a toe in the water. That's what's the original investor off, is like, I'm not going to spend $200,000 for a house, you know, on code violations and then have nothing to show for it. But what helped us is we kind of knew somebody that dealt a lot with Lee County code. And they basically said, once you buy it, if you fix those codes, they'll knock it down to kind of cost, which was probably about $5,000, maybe 10 at the most. So, you know, the city didn't want this. They didn't know what to do with it. So we kind of jumped in and decided to do it. So we had a little bit of money. We didn't have the full amount. Are you going to flip slides? Are we on the delay? Okay. So the lady, what was it? Myrna?
I don't remember. I don't remember her name.
We had two issues with her. A, to get it clean, you know, to get her to clean up the place as much as possible, and B, to get her out of there. She didn't have any money to clean up or get out of there. So we worked something out at escrow where we would actually pay her half in advance of escrow. So we were going to pay her around she was going to make about $40,000 off of this, and we were going to pay her half of it in advance.
Sorry.
We had the paperwork. the paperwork was written up in a way that I guess would protect us. I can't remember the actual verbiage. And part of the deal was we bought or paid for a dog, and she was going to clean up the yard and the inside as much. And she was
and a lot of it was for her to get the cars towed. We would have towed them. We would have just taken that money and done that. But she wanted to bring them to start hoarding them at her new place.
Yeah,
so.
She had a new place she had bought in northern Florida, which I would hate to see right now. But she was going to take stuff up there, and she ended up doing most of it. But that's a part of the story as we go. I think that in the course of all this too, we had gone back to California, because I specifically remember being at my hairdresser's with color on my hair and getting on the phone while I was under the dryer setting the color to negotiate with the current mortgage holder, who was a local lawyer who was holding a private mortgage on it. And I negotiated that we would pay him the back pay, and we would continue paying and then pay him the full amount, the other $40,000 that was owed on the property when we sold. And he actually agreed to that. So we ended up with this sort of seller carryback and having to come with roughly $40,000 plus, I don't know, maybe about $10,000 in what it was going to take to get it to a certain point. So the 5,000.
Did we lose her? Is she frozen to everybody else?
She looks frozen to me, Claire.
She sure does. Okay, anyway, so what we did was we ended up coming in and finishing the cleanup. You know, she wanted to actually hold this owner to her word that she was going to clean up, and we finally looked at each other and said, she's a hoarder, she's not going to do it. And plus we had the tax sale coming up, so we needed to close, and we did. Our contractor who was going to do the rehab on this ended up just deciding not to do it. So we were this whole thing was really a favor to him. And so we pulled it together between the contractor and us, and got in another couple dumpsters and got the place cleaned and more or less swept out. So it was, it was okay. Oh my God, you couldn't even get a rehabber to buy it then. So I honestly, I was rolling my eyes after everything we did. Really, this isn't good enough for you. So we brought in a badass cleaner who we still use to this day, and she was not thrown by this thing because it still stunk. It still stunk really badly. So she came in to clean the house, and she said, well, after I got the 20 rats and the poison frog out, it was fine. It didn't smell at all. And I think they floated that thing in Pine Sol, for about 2 days, and then got it clean. After that, a little wussy boy rehabber bought it, and they were okay with it. So when we did that, we were able to give the lender his money back, and we got paid and everything else. This is a little bit of some of the before and after. Here's the garage to start, and then here it is after. We did paint it. A little bit. The exterior got painted. We cleared everything out of the yard, the inside. So it was ready to be rehabbed. So the numbers on this, we purchased it for 80, and then we put in about 13,000 with between cleanup and the fines, and we sold it for 110. That left 80 for the rehabber to play with, and that should have been plenty.
Claire, can you hear me? Okay, so we're losing you. Can you refresh?
Not a home run. It was a very decent.
Claire?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but you froze right on 2 screens ago.
Oh my God, that is hysterical. We
So
even
if you
between
could
two
go
of us.
back and go over
Yes,
the numbers,
I can.
Great. Okay.
So we made 17 on this, as you can see. Not a home run, but a decent single. And we did a favor for a friend, and we learned a lot about the city of Fort Myers and Lee County and a lot of things. So without our network, we would not have known about the fines. We could not have gotten all that done. So that's was worth a lot. Where am I? What are we doing? Physical, we've done this. We've done this. Okay, we've done this. This is just kind of the before and after that finally we were able to sell it. So the lessons, the point, here's where we are. One is the courage. You talked about courage. That is a big deal. And so I'd like to just say, don't be afraid of a challenge. This may not be what you want to do on your first flip. But once you get the drift of how things work, it wasn't that hard. It was there were a lot of moving parts, but it wasn't very hard. So you just find out what the real story is. You assess the cost versus the risk and understand what's happening. But this is what scares people away, and that's where opportunity is. You don't make, if we could just get nice houses that were easy, guys, this would be a cakewalk, but that's not how it works. So I'm sure you've all heard the quote, the Zig Ziglar quote, dang it. And I'm covering up, there it is. You will get all you want in life if you help other people get what they want. And ultimately, that's what we did. We helped our wholesaler and the person who owned the house and the guy who had lent to her and the city of Fort Myers and everyone else. And we got a decent payday out of it. So that was great.
Awesome.
So anyway, we did want to let you know that next Thursday, we're actually going to be featuring another. Okay, I have to stop, hand off the mouse. Featuring a home that we're working on in Fort Myers. The one on the left there is the home. Wow. It's purple. That's actually purple. And it's the Florida Mediterranean Spanish style home. And the one on the right is more typical of a really nice one in that area. These were the original homes before air conditioning, that are very desirable right now. People like them. They're very classic. So we're going to be doing a little thing on that to talk about what we're doing with it and everything else. If you would like to be part of that, it's a little bit of a pitch because we're looking for rehab money too. But if you would like to be part of it, we like to, as far as we're concerned, the more the merrier. It's kind of fun. It helps you get to know us a little bit. You're welcome. So just contact us and we will shoot you a Zoom link when we have a time. It'll probably be around 4 or 5. But I was trying to remember, is this every week, Deb, or is this every other week or once a month?
No, this is once a month.
I thought so.
Hour is once a month. I was wondering, before we go on any further, maybe you could stop sharing your screen and we could ask for questions, because there might be some questions on, the case study that you just shared.
Excellent idea. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Can you stop sharing your screen?
Probably.
I can come back on.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me go back.
Oh yeah, we need that.
Here, let me put this up real quick.
Yeah, put that up. So obviously to get a hold of Claire and Marianne. Oh, okay, now it's gone.
It's the mouse. I keep touching the mouse and it keeps moving the screen.
All right, you guys take a hold of Claire and Marianne's phone number and or email address if you're interested in attending that exploration that they've got going on in the Spanish style home next week. And but do we have any? Oh, okay, we've got some questions. Okay, fabulous. Let's let me go here.
Yes, somebody asked if it was the same house. I'm back, by the way.
Hi,
Marianne's back. It's the Taco Bell Wi-Fi let me down, I guess. But no, the house actually, I think it's at the one next door. It's right in the same neighborhood.
In the neighborhood, yeah.
It's more like what we wanted to look like right now. There's this sort of faux siding on it that is not the original stucco, and so we're taking it back to a much more original look. Which is one of the things I love to do and is a little more involved than, say, maybe your average flip, but it's a fun one for us.
So
And-
we've got some questions about the case study. So let's cover those questions first. How long
Okay.
did it take you to flip the hoarder house? So what was the span of time? And can you
About a
talk
month,
more about
month and a half.
the code
Okay.
violations and how you got around them?
Yes.
Okay, it took probably about 2 weeks just to finish the cleanup to, I don't know what Claire said, but it was power washed and painted on the outside. And then, the cleaning crew came in and got rid of the rats and all the fun things. So, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then we decided not to go through with a full flip on it. And then I don't know how much.
There were more weeks. We spent longer dealing with the city and we had to get an appointment, which they only do once a month, with the city or county. I forget who we're dealing with. I think the city, to get those fines mitigated and get a definite price on them. So we knew we'd be okay. And our network helped us get into that meeting so that we could get that done. And she had already talked to them, and we knew it would be about $5,000, and that's what it was. And that took several weeks, the negotiating and all that.
That 200,000 was basically because they hadn't cleaned anything up, and it kept adding on and adding on. But it was basically getting that yard and the exterior cleaned up was what all the code violations were based upon. So once we got it cleaned up.
Did they end up canceling the whole 200,000 in code violations, or did you end up paying anything?
We paid
5,000.
$5,000.
5,000.
And that was basically cost. That was like their cost to send inspectors out and to have the meeting or whatever. But that was basically the cost. Yeah.
That's remarkable. Okay, we have more questions. In this area, have you done other flips? And you had a team in place to assist you, correct? Can you talk to that?
Yes.
Yeah,
The very first,
yeah. Go ahead.
Claire, do you want to?
Sure. The the team is one we developed starting with the first house, and it included our wholesaler, our contractor, who's the one who was going to buy this house as his own flip, and a woman who is actually a troubleshooter and deals a lot with code and with permits and stuff like that. We've really needed her this last year. She's been huge. But anyway, so we didn't get around them. We talked to people who have worked in the area. Our wholesaler in particular has a lot of experience, as did our permit lady, with dealing with them. And it's a basic thing, and I found this in Escondido once when I went to buy a flip, is if you talk to the city, they'll kind of tell you they're not that interested in collecting $200,000 on this house. They're not even hopeful, I don't think. But they just want the neighborhood looking better than it does. So as long as, especially if you're new and you're coming in and your promise is you're going to get this fixed up and clean, they'll take you at your word for a week or two to make sure you do it. And if you do, they mitigate that to, like she said, to about the cost of the administration of it all.
And the people in the neighborhood were extremely happy.
Yes.
This was really a terrible house in what was a nice kind of middle-class neighborhood. So, it wasn't the most upscale, but yeah, we've been doing quite a few houses. Even that Spanish style is also in the Fort Myers area. We have this other one that's a mid-century modern.
The same wholesaler, Marianne?
Same. Yeah, he got us those two. The one, the Spanish one, he worked with us on, but we'd actually found it separately and then kind of went to him he actually knew the wholesaler that had it. Some other wholesaler had it. So we worked with him to kind of contact that guy and get through to them.
And there's a curiosity here. What's the story about the poisonous frog?
Oh, Claire, did you tell him about Amel?
No, I did tell him about Amel.
You named him?
Amel is our wholesaler's assistant. Amel works he's one of the two wholesalers. He works under Mike Fate, and he's a Slavic guy.
He's a big barrel-chested guy.
He works out, so he looks like a young Schwarzenegger. He is deathly afraid of frogs. He ran out of that place. But Julie and Jim, our cleaners, I don't know. I think the frog ran away after all of the cover was kind of removed from the place. I mean, there was like a side lean-to garage that was full of tiles and stuff. And I think the frog was somewhere in there, but once his cover was blown, he left. But Julie and Jim, are Deep Scrubbers is their company. They have done regular cleanings for us, and they went and tackled that one, and they'll be forever be our friends after that one.
We have some more, so we have some questions about the new project. Is the new project you said is in the same area, Fort Myer?
Yeah, it's actually maybe kind of walking distance from the very first one we did, which
That's
is up on my
area.
Facebook, on my Distinctive Dwellings Facebook page. If anybody goes to Facebook and looks for Distinctive Dwellings, they'll see a video on the mid-century modern we did, which was the first one that got us into that area. And I don't know if Claire told you how we got in there originally after we did that Lake Elsinore project. She was taking, through another club, was taking what were they doing? They had like a mentorship, and they offered her the one that we called the Barcelona house, the mid-century modern one. And she said, yeah, we'd like to do it. And I said, I'd like to do it, but I'm not putting my name on anything if I don't have a direct input, because they offer to do everything. And I said, my name's not going to be on it unless we see it and know what's going on. And that kind of got us to going there. And Florida, Fort Myers became like the candy store for us to play in.
There's a question in here from Monica, and she's saying, can you talk more about the wholesaler? What is this, and how do you find one?
Okay. I'll tell you, this is the best wholesaler we've had, because there are plenty of wholesalers in Southern California. A wholesaler is the person who puts all the time, all the money in. And this is hard, by the way. Marianne and I both got our training as wholesalers through Iris's 60-day challenge, which is what she does. She kind of teaches you to wholesale, because once you know that, you know a lot. They go out, they find the properties through all sorts of different methods, and it's not cheap. You got to send mailers, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to
knock on
negotiate
doors
with owners, knock on doors, everything. And but he's very good, he's very professional, and they do find a lot of properties, and they actually will throw them to us when they go, oh, this is a Claire and Marianne house, so that's really nice for us. But it's basically someone who goes out and finds the distressed properties, gets it under contract, and then assigns the contract to a rehabber like us. And then they get a little piece of the action, and but they never own the property as a rule. It depends how they run their business, but that's usually how it works.
But the trick about finding a good wholesaler is some of them take too much meat off the bone. As a flipper, you're putting most of the money in, you're putting most of the,
The
it's
risk.
more risky. We're putting more of the risk in. The wholesaler basically, and they usually have it they put it under contract, but they usually have it for a very limited time. So if you're going to move on one, you have to kind of move quickly, because you're on their timetable as opposed to a timetable you may have if you're directly buying it. So we just happened on Fairview to have all the money for it. And on Sunset, we actually raised most of the money. We had to close that one in 7 days. We had to have $70,000 in 7 days. And we ended up, WREN is a great resource.
I was just going to say that. This is a perfect segue for this.
I mean, we've been working with Jennifer Maldonado and her Raising Capital. And even though both of us had raised private capital before, I wouldn't be in the business without private capital. I had somebody fund my first 3 deals through Iris's club, somebody I met through that 60-day challenge. But for the Sunset House, a couple of guys in the Raising Capital group came to one of our little pitches and came up with, I mean, the one guy I knew because he was in my accountability group and I knew what he had. Another guy came to the pitch. I didn't really know him that well. And before I knew it, within 24 hours, he had invested $100,000 with us. We were like scrambling to try to get some temporary money to just get it purchased until we could get the money. And it was like, I was so giddy. But this was again through contacts, through the networking with the people, and they knew us from that group. So they knew us well enough that they were ready to jump in when they were ready to jump in. And so this is the kind of group that you meet people that can help you in
I'll
that
tell you
way.
something else. I've been to a lot of networking groups regarding real estate in Southern California, and I mean a lot. And this is one of the few where, I mean, there is certainly a mix of newbies, but there are a lot of hard rocking, doing it now, ladies out there in the trenches. And that's really a lot of fun because the more people you have who are smarter and more experienced than you, the more you can glean from them and you can glean from each other.
And there are people.
Really unique in this way.
And there's people in this group that want to be in real estate that aren't like Claire and I, who are full-time doing it and actively supervising flips and things like that. But there are women who are working in really good jobs who have the passive income or have IRAs, self-directed IRAs, or we've gotten people to invest out of their self-directed IRAs and their 401ks because it pays a good return, and so there are people that have good jobs that want to be involved but can't be in the trenches, can't be driving across Arkansas when you have to go look at a mobile home camp or something.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions. So just a couple more things. How did you come to invest in Florida? Are you from Florida? What state do you live in? That's an interesting question.
Well, the Florida came about because of networking, because I was in a club in Temecula, and someone came who was a mentor, our friend Spencer, and he said they've got a lot of houses in Florida. They presented this one, Barcelona, and we drove out for the closing and met the team because we wanted to make sure the team was legit and they were legit and everything else. And and that's how we started. And because it was such a good wholesaler, it was a good network of people, including your contractor and everything else. We ended up just, that's where they were coming. But we live in California. So we've been going back and forth a little bit.
And another question
driving.
is, do you purchase through LLCs or trusts?
LLCs.
Fabulous.
We've had our own two different ones, but we've now made Deal Masters into another one that we'll be using together. Now that we work together a year, we trust each other enough.
We've decided
It's
we might last.
A marriage incorporation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're together, like on the road, and we say, well, my partner, and then we have to say, oh, business partner.
Right, because you're from California.
Right.
You never know.
Okay, so if you two are flippers, what made you wholesale this one? I think you said, but I missed the reasoning. That's one of the questions.
We had, I think, just finished the first one in Barcelona. We had this little one that I just finished that we're keeping for a short-term rental called the Mermaid. And we had a couple other things going, and we just thought it was going to be one too many. I think in the end, I thought maybe we could have done it, but I wasn't as enamored of that one as some of the other ones. So we thought, little crash, quick cash, get the money back in the fold and carry on. So, it's quicker cash, I think, was one of the primary things.
Well, ladies, we have a few minutes left. I'd love for you to share your screen again, Claire, on what you've got coming up next week. And
you'll have to let me.
Oh, I thought I didn't think I.
Oh no, I'm lying. There it is.
Okay.
I expected it to be at the
Claire,
top.
you got to watch Claire all the time. I mean, she
I know,
says stuff,
right?
and
No,
it's
this
just
is-
not true.
And ladies that are on this call, we are a networking organization. So if you're interested in sharing your contact information or reaching out to somebody else that's on this call, please, I welcome you to put your name and your contact information into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and put mine if anybody wants to reach out to me. And there we go. Deal Masters, Claire and Marianne. And your event is next Thursday, true?
True.
At what
Probably around 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 or 5 p.m. Pacific. We've got to
Wonderful.
just,
If anybody's
round it out.
interested in getting more information about their next upcoming deal, please contact them directly. And thank you. Can we have some love in the chat for Marianne and Claire? Thank you. Great. Thanks, girls. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to remove your pen. Claire, you want to stop sharing now?
yeah. There we go.
And there we go. And there we go. Yay! Thank you. Awesome job. Awesome job. Everybody got, oh, great. And we've got a lot of stuff. Marianne and Claire, you guys are rock stars. We got a lot of stuff going on in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, not only for, contributing today to our case study, but thank you for your constant contribution to WREN. They're right. WREN is a great organization for truly networking with people that are actually in the business and actually doing deals, right? And you get to learn, like we've learned today from Claire and Marianne. And if you're interested and ready to do deals, you get to do that too. And if you're like Marianne and Claire and myself and Rochelle, who do many deals, who are full-time real estate investors, it's always great for us to take people under our wings to educate you, to help give you resources to do deals as well. So there we go. So anybody, I want to just finish up the meeting with a couple other announcements that we have. And so I'm going to share my screen here. There's the case study. Oh, become a member. So for those of you that are new, we had a lot of first timers on the call. We have a membership. And we have done all kinds of things in this past year to increase the benefits of our membership. We have an online member profile. So we have a whole site, and the membership portion of the site is basically to help foster networking. So you get to be put together with other people that are interested in the things that you're interested in. And we've got multifamily, we've got single family, we've got flippers, we've got note people, we've got all kinds of different storage unit people. So we have on our membership site, you can have your own member profile, which we highly recommend because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? So put your photo up there, put your contact information up there. And then we have something called circles. And our circles are basically mini Facebook pages. And we have circles for all these different areas of investing. And of course, we have a how-to circle to show you how to utilize the site. So also know that, a lot of people say that, real estate is local, but in our group, real estate is actually very national. I'm a flipper here in Los Angeles because you can get great appreciation here. And yet my buy and holds are out of state because I can get better cash flow there. So know that you're going to make national and as well as local connections on our membership portal, as well as you get discounts on the monthly events and free access to the local and national chapter meetings. Educational platform. We have our own community calls, just us members only, which I love. And we have savings with special vendors and preferred seating and treatment at our events. And, it's just a wonderful organization to belong to. If you're interested in joining, go to reninspires.com/join, or you can go to www.joinren.com. We're making it simpler. Joinren.com. It's $195 for a year. Ladies, that's a nice pair of shoes, right? Like it's practically nothing for a year, and you get to be immersed and get the resources that all these women have to give to you. So I want to just take a couple minutes to talk about what we've got going on coming up. And I have something really interesting to share with you guys. And that is, I was contacted. Is there anybody in the chat that knows who KK is with the Tony Robbins organization? Did they do the Facebook challenge, or have they gone to any of the Robbins events and know that KK is like a little powerhouse in the Robbins organization? Her company, yes, thank you. Some people know her company contacted WREN because she is all about women empowerment, and she said, I would love to do a peak performance workshop for you. She's amazing. And as you can tell in the bottom picture, it's unleash her power within, right? So she's going to be doing a 90-minute peak performance workshop for us on November 10th. It is going to be free. It's going to be free, which I can't believe they've decided to waive the $5,000 charge to WREN to have her come on. I'm going to put the link in the chat if you want more information, if you want to sign up for this. Now, is this real estate related? No, it is not real estate related. This is self-development related. If you have ever heard of Tony Robbins or any of his events, this is basically a kind of a condensed version of one of his events. It'll talk to you about mindset. It'll talk to you about beliefs. It'll talk to you about values. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you want to accelerate faster in what it is you're doing, I highly recommend you come to this event. So I don't know your, put it back up, please. It is up. I'm not sure what you're saying, Lisa. Anyway, so that's what we've got coming up on November 10th. We have also our members, for the members that are on this call, we have a member connect on November 4th. That will be Wednesday, November 4th. And then we're going to have another power hour on November 17th. Because of Thanksgiving, we are having our next member meeting on December 2nd. So our next member meeting will be, let me see if I have anything. Oh, there's the member connect on Wednesday, November 4th. And our next member meeting will be on December 2nd. We had a lot of women that were really interested in scaling and systematizing their business. So we're bringing in a speaker, and the speaker is all about build a system any VA can handle. Right? Who here wants to learn how to build a system any VA can handle? So we're not only giving you the systems, how to build it, and it's not only for flipping, but it's also for buy and holds. It's for basically you can apply it to any real estate. And we're going to give you also resources of different areas to get VAs. All right. So we just secured that speaker. So we're just getting that information up. So if you want to know about our events, I'm going to put our events link in the chat. There is our events link. That links to our calendar. So you can go to our calendar at any time and you can see the events that we have coming up. And you know, I want to ask you a favor. If you liked this meeting and you came in through Meetup, please rate us on Meetup. You know, it increases the volume of how much exposure we get. And the more exposure we get to women, the better, right? Because we're here to empower women, give them resources, give them things to help them go forward in their life. And also connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel that has a bunch of remarkable information on it, and it's all under WREN Inspires. So any of those mediums you can find us under WREN Inspires. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's just an hour. Is that a powerful hour or what? We're living up to our name. It's the power hour. All right. So I want you to do one more thing. At the bottom of the chat, there are 3 dots on the bottom right-hand side. If you want to save the chat, if you want to save any of these contacts that people have put in the chat, all the names and phone numbers and email addresses, please pick that bottom 3 dots on the right-hand side, and it says save chat, and that'll save it to your desktop so that you have all those resources. Once again, if you're interested in joining WREN, go to joinwren.com and check us out. Hopefully we'll see you guys again. Marianne and Claire, thank you. Rochelle, thank you for coming on and sharing that story. Marianne and Claire, I'm so glad that you were able to help Rochelle out. I love the fact that this helps each other. And thank you so much for attending today. We'll see you online later, ladies. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Nice to see you, by the way.
Thank you.
This was
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks.
Bye all. Nice seeing you all.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Deb.
See you later, Marianne.
See ya, Deb. Love ya.
I always feel like it's John Boy. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mom.
Good night.
Hi, Nika. Hi,
Good
Julie.
night. Good night, Gracie.
See you. All right. See you guys
Bye.
later. Thanks.